yesterday, our main bet was on the Atletico Madrid versus PSV game. So on Tuesday, I think we made a small profit. We won the multiple bet and several other ones, but one of the big ones was, big as in I think it was €5, was on Leicester to win but not concede any goals, which we lost. Yesterday, well, again, it's not guaranteed that you're going to find an attractive bet. If only it was that easy. But Champions League is kind of nice because it's actually one of the more predictable matches. Typically, the better team wins. You have these big teams and they tend to win. They have better players, they have more experience. You have the smaller ones who have just made it this time and are all excited, but the sudden shock of playing 2 games a week, you have your league game and the Champions League game, that unless you're a big club who does this every year, it's a big readjustment. So what happened? Well, you can see, lost the multiple bet. Barcelona won, Atletico Madrid won, Bayern Munich didn't. I have some thoughts why that might be the case, why that should have been flagged, but I think it was a reasonable bet. And again, it was not. It was like €1.50. I think typically that should win, but that's the thing with accumulators. You are betting on multiple things, all of which typically you will win, but you're looking to win all of them. So if you have one surprise, one odd result, you lose. So that's why you're offered higher odds, because it is riskier, less likely to happen. But it's not a dead end. It's worth, depending on your preferences, it's a potential area that can be profitable, or could be. So looking at the games yesterday, again looking at OLBG and stuff, I'm an Arsenal supporter, so I was kind of more interested in the Arsenal Paris Saint-Germain match. That, now I know a lot about Arsenal, but since it's the club I support, I'm not as detached. So I am more prone to see what I want to see as opposed to what's there. So I always have a reluctance to bet on Arsenal as a result. My best bet for many a year, and I have it again this year, is backing Arsenal to finish in the top 4. They've done it, I think, for 20 years in a row or something like that, crazy. Yet every year you can double your money doing it. Every year people go, oh, but this year I think. That's what you said last year. That's what you've been saying every year. Unlikely. So, but that's an aside. The thing that stood out to me was Atletico Madrid versus PSV. And the reason for that is because Madrid have been, if not as much of a sure thing as Arsenal finishing in the top four, they have been doing very well. Hence, they were included in my accumulator. They've made a couple of finals in the last few years. So they've been doing very well in the Spanish league and so on. But they've built, like, the foundations of their success has been a very good defense. And people tend to think that, it's been a great game, there will be loads of goals scored. Atletico Madrid, that's not the case. I mean, probably 80% of the games, most of them are under 3 goals. So you would expect that the fair price would be maybe 1.4, 1.5. But you can double your money, basically. So that's the kind of thing that I look for. Where statistically, history and whatever you want to call it, that's wrong. The market has priced it wrong. So that was my main bet. It must have been €15 or something. It was roughly double. So that was a good day. I lost the accumulator €1.50. I won this. Now this, yes, I lost because it cost me $3.50. But it was a lay. So what I did was, I said that there was going to be less than 3 goals, and the odds were maybe 2.1. Then I put in an order saying that if the odds fall down to, say, 1.35, I'm saying because it's 3 or 50. I'll just click this to see, does it? Yeah, there you are. So I said if the odds fell down to 1.35, so say it was like the second half and it was still 0-0, then everyone goes, I don't think you're going to get 3 goals, so the odds fall. That's one of the nice things about under-over bets, that if you bet it's going to be under 3 goals, as the game goes on, the odds are going to drift down. Unless there's an early goal scored or something. But there's often the opportunity to hedge at a very nice price. I might as well show what I got it at. Yeah, so I bet at 2.12. Then later on in the game, I was able to hedge at 1.35. So that means now, even if I lose the bet, I'll only lose €5, because I've taken the counter bet at 10, and if I win, I'm going to win €13. So the risk reward now is fantastic. Why did I bet on this? Well, I said because Atletico Madrid tend to have low goals. We're going to be looking at this kind of thing for the next few videos. How do we know what constitutes a good bet? So there are multiple data sources. So I just typed in Champions League groups into Google, found this page. But there are loads of places. Now, I'm a football supporter, so I'd be watching football, following all this automatically anyway. So I'd be aware of these things, So it's not extra work for me to pick up this kind of information, which is why I would be more likely to bet on football, because there I have some expert knowledge, as it were. So what I just wanted to say here was, we can go down here and there's Atletico Madrid. So they played 5 games. They've scored 7 and conceded 1. So another likely bet in that game was Atletico Madrid to keep a clean sheet, because they nearly always do. So those would be the things that I would be looking at when I'd be quickly scanning through the match. I'd kind of go, I know Atletico Madrid, low scoring games, they tend to keep clean sheets. So a potential bet would be that they're going to win 1-0, they're going to win 2-0, because those correct score bets are going to give you a 6, 7, 8 to 1. You can get very good odds. Potentially Atletico Madrid to win 2-0. Both teams to score no. So under 3 goals. So those would be the kind of bets that you'd be looking for with Atletico Madrid. If you suddenly see that actually the odds are pretty good for them, if you can get double your money odds on any of those ones, even though that they happen like 70-80% of the time, then use your Kelly. If you can double your money and the probability of that happening is 70%, you bet 40% of your betting money, your pot. And a small add-on, as we've been talking about, as you mentioned, Kelly is on the aggressive side. So we don't look to like double or treble that. You'd normally maybe half that or a third that or something, because as I said, Kelly is quite aggressive. The thing I should have known, if I'd done my homework properly, is that Bayern Munich were going to qualify. I think they're safe. The top 2 qualify. So Bayern Munich know that they're going to qualify to the next stage. And Bayern Munich know that Atletico Madrid are top of the table. So basically, it was a meaningless game for Bayern Munich. Whatever happens, like in the game yesterday or in the last remaining game, it makes no difference. So they're going to be looking to rest players. The players it's nearly going to be like a friendly, and that's why it wasn't as shocking, surprising for Bayern Munich to lose, because Bayern Munich are one of the elite clubs. They belong in the top 4. They could well win it. They have the dream clubs with phenomenal players and all that. So they should easily be able to beat Rostov. But given, if I'd done my homework in this, I should have known that it doesn't matter for Bayern Munich. And so you would flag that as a normal odds might not apply. So I just wanted to look at another day's worth of betting to kind of see what what that entails. Basically that there were many games on. There are many possible bets that you can do on each game. You want to be very selective and have data and reasons, like to have history supporting your decisions. So in this case, I went for Atletico Madrid. We looked at the table, and there are other tables, other data sources. So I knew that there was a good probability that I'd win this game. I would flag that in the last month or something, Atletico Madrid have actually conceded more goals than people would expect in the Spanish league. So I did have question marks over this and was slightly worried. That's why I was willing to hedge at 1.35. Normally I'd be looking to hedge at 1.2, but at the back of my mind I was kind of going, look, if Atletico Madrid do concede, I can't say I was like there were no signs that I couldn't. There was nothing to suggest that this would happen. So anyway, we've looked at 2 days of betting. Now I just want to look at the back end. How did I come about to making these decisions? What's the thought process? What's the framework? So that's what we'll be doing next.